obesity because
we love to take care of our bariatric patients.
I care about obesity because it's a complex disease affecting millions of people globally.
I care about obesity because I want to live long enough to see my niece and nephew grow up.
I care because people with obesity are being discriminated against and denied access to scientifically proven treatments that not only improve their health, but improve their quality of life.
I care because everyone with obesity deserves the best quality of life. Me importa porque todas las personas con obesidad merecen la mejor calidad de vida.
I care about obesity because so many people are dealing with it. I have a lot of loved ones that are fighting the battle. I want people to realize that it isn't something we choose. It's something that we are living with.
We care about Obesity Care Week because we know the right support can transform lives
And people's health.
and their families.
Support Obesity Care Week.
I care about obesity because I live with it, and I'm trying to treat it and manage it, and in doing so, I've truly been able to recognize and understand that obesity is a chronic disease that is so much more complex than just food, exercise, and willpower.
I care because all people deserve respect.
Verifique sua saúde vem em primeiro lugar. Seus entes queridos precisam de você.
I care about obesity because people affected by obesity deserve to be treated with dignity and respect.
I care because I don't want anybody with obesity to experience the blame, shame, and weight bias that I did. So it is time to stop these behaviors now.
I care because obesity affects nearly 14 million children in the United States, placing them at greater risk for cardiovascular disease and diabetes.
We care because everyone deserves respectful treatment for obesity. Treat early, treat always.
I care because obesity is a chronic disease affecting millions of individuals, all of whom deserve to receive evidence-based medical treatment and to do so without bias or stigma.
I care because someone that I love is affected by obesity.
I care about obesity because it's one of the main problems we face in special education.
I care about obesity because 1 in 6 children are considered obese.
I care about obesity because obesity is a complex disease. It is not simply about calories in and calories out. We need to provide the proper education and treatment for obesity as it is affecting so many people and will continue to.
The Business Group on Health cares deeply about obesity because of its impact on employees and their families across the globe. We're committed to helping our member companies both prevent and treat obesity by upending traditional thinking about weight and weight loss, as well as providing evidence-based guidance for action.
PAs care about obesity because 42% of U.S. adults are affected by the disease. The disease can come with significant comorbidities, and people deserve access to evidence-based, compassionate care and treatment.
I care because just like me, you are someone you know has been affected by or with obesity. And I believe that together, we can impact change in access to care and to do our part to end obesity bias.
At Northeast Georgia Medical Center, we know that obesity is a chronic, complex disease, and we treat our patients with respect and compassion.
C'est le moment de changer l'histoire de l'obésité.
I care about obesity because it is a chronic, relapsing disease that can be so debilitating to so many people around the world. Obesity is a disease often so misunderstood and therefore stigmatized. It is a disease that if anyone can choose, they would not choose obesity for a disease for themselves. Yet obesity can be overcome by diet, exercise, medication, and surgery. I care about obesity because by treating obesity, we can change so many lives around the world.
I care about obesity because there are millions of children, adolescents, and families who don't have access to evidence-based treatment or the support that they need to manage their obesity.
I care because I want to transform the unhealthy and bad lifestyle of people towards healthy and happier lives.
I care about obesity because I'm an obesity medicine specialist and I fully understand the struggle that patients go through. I truly believe that fixing the weight issue can dramatically change a person's life.
I care about obesity because I am a person who has lived with obesity. I have stood beside countless friends and family members and watched as they struggled with the disease of obesity. Yes, obesity is a disease, and it's time that we treat obesity like we would any other chronic disease.
PAs care about obesity because we care about the whole patient, not just one disease.
Es ist mir wichtig, weil es Menschen weltweit betrifft.
I care, so I'm striving to find inclusive healthcare professionals willing to treat and prevent obesity among people with intellectual disabilities.
I care about obesity because it is a complex chronic disease that affects millions of people worldwide.
I care about obesity because 93 million adults in America have obesity.
I care about obesity because this is something I've struggled with for a very long time in my life.
I care about obesity because it shapes the lives and health of so many people I love. Because we've made so many mistakes in dealing with it. And because I have real hope that we can do so much better and help to improve so many lives in the process.
I care about obesity medicine for my pediatric patients.
I care because people living with obesity deserve access to health care, employment, education, free of stigma and bias.
Me importa porque soy un estudiante de medicina y creo que podemos hacer más para educar a la gente acerca de esta condición que afecta a una gran parte de la población mundial.
Me importa la obesidad porque es una enfermedad crónica y compleja que afecta a personas alrededor del mundo, incluso niños y adolescentes.
I care about obesity because it is a treatable neurobehavioral medical condition that deserves science-based, compassionate care.
I care about obesity because it is an extremely complex and misunderstood disease that I have been affected with for my whole life.
I care about obesity because people deserve to be treated with respect and dignity.
I care because obesity is a disease that affects 650 million people around the world, including myself. So this week, educate yourself and support those struggling with obesity.
I care about my health, and I care about you. I care about obesity.
And I care about obesity because it's something I've been dealing with pretty much all my life, and at its worst, it's kept me from getting outside and enjoying all of this.
Me importa porque me afecta la obesidad. Me importa porque amo a alguien afectado por la obesidad.
Me importa porque las personas con obesidad deben ser tratadas con dignidad y respeto. Me importa porque conozco a alguien afectado por obesidad.
Me importa porque la obesidad es una patología que afecta a millones de personas en todo el mundo.
Me importa porque la obesidad es el principal problema de salud en México.
Me importa porque tengo amigos que padecen obesidad.
Me importa porque México es el primer lugar en obesidad infantil.
I care about obesity because I had to fight for my treatment in 1994, and for the last 25 years, I have been fighting for people to get their own treatment approved by insurance companies unwilling to pay. I'm going to keep fighting until we don't have to fight anymore.
I care about obesity because I know that those who suffer from the chronic diseases associated with obesity are absolutely not living their best lives. I know the positive power of transformation. Together we can end obesity. Let's all care together. I care about obesity.
I care about obesity because it is a cause of many chronic diseases. With obesity treatment and weight management, I want to help my patients and the community to live a happy and healthy life.
I care about obesity because I know about the individual and the societal burden. Together we can make a difference.
So why do I care about obesity? Because COVID-19 has proven more than ever through its devastating impact on those with obesity that we need to take away the stigma around asking for help with obesity, as well as make such help widely accessible.